Barbie, you are 50.
Yes.
I'm going to let the audience look by a little bit and just looking at them brain and try to remember, what does a 50-year-old look like? I remember when I was a little girl, when somebody told me, said them in them 30s, we think they're nearly dead enough.
I did. I thought 30 was old.
Listen.
Like, and don't even talk to me about 40.
Oh
Much
my
less
God,
50.
you are closer to the grave.
Yes, like,
How are you
you're going to
still
die
alive?
tomorrow. Like, wow, you've been around forever.
The information shared on Everyday Period is for educational and informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of a qualified healthcare provider with any questions or concerns you may have regarding your health or medical condition. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay seeking it because of something you heard on this show. Your health is unique and only a medical professional can provide personalized guidance. Everyday Period removes the stigma, the awkwardness, and the taboo from reproductive health and introduces real empowering conversations for greater understanding. I am Shelly-Ann Weeks, the Period Lady, and I'll be your host and guide as we navigate the murky waters of all things reproductive health. Are you ready? Let's normalize the talk, celebrate the experience, and make periods something we're proud to discuss. Welcome to the conversation. I want to hear from you. If you have any questions or comments about the topic, or if you have a question about reproductive health generally, send us an email at embraceherflow@gmail.com. You can also like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Period TV. And just remember, we are here for you. Everyday Period is brought to you by Her Flow Foundation, empowering Jamaicans one flow at a time. Everyday Period is an AP1 production. Follow Her Flow on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Facebook at Her Flow Foundation, and visit our website at embraceherflow.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter. I'm very excited today because on Everyday Period, we've got what I love to call a big man guest. And of course, you know, when we say big man, we're talking about somebody who's been around for, yes, I must say it, at least half a century. You understand? A real big man thing. I want to introduce my guest, the lovely, the talented marketer and media personality. She don't want to admit that, but she left on TV plenty. And bonus points, she's actually a contestant in this year's Miss Universe Jamaica competition. She is doing the competition for the East, but we know that she'll win. So when she win East, she'll go for regional. But I want to welcome Barbie Mudahy. How you do?
I'm great, Shelly. I'm absolutely. After that introduction, I'm even better.
Oh, you know, first of all, Barbie, before we get into the nitty-gritty of it all, I asked everybody this question as the first question.
Okay.
Do you remember your first period experience?
I do remember my first period experience, actually. I was 12. I was living with my father at the time. But thankfully, I had a mother who did talk to me about periods before. So I did know about periods and those things. So I had a little kit. I had a little bag. It probably looked like a pencil case, really, that had like the pad and everything in it. So I knew what to do when it happened. And
how did you feel?
I think I was prepared, to be honest. I think I was prepared for the period. So because I knew what was going to happen. I knew it was happening. It had happened to my cousins before. And so it wasn't something that was taboo or shunned in my family. So I was pretty much prepared. I was actually excited about my first period because I felt like it was like a passage into womanhood.
Oh, yes.
And now I'm grown. And they can't tell me no more that I'm not grown because I'm grown.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
big man.
Yeah. I'm not so happy about it anymore.
You got over that quickly.
Real quick.
All right. So now that we hear what your first period was like, I'm happy to hear that because we hear a lot of traumatic experiences that really stemmed from the fact that a lot of little girls have their first period without having any information. They're never usually prepared. And so it's good to hear what the other side of that feels like because it is something that I really believe that we need to do, you know. We have to, as a matter of teaching, tell children what to expect as their bodies develop. They are going to be going through different changes. And rather than experiencing it ignorantly, it makes sense to prepare them.
Absolutely.
So that's happy. I'm very happy to hear that.
Absolutely.
So now that we heard your first period story, Barbie, you are 50.
Yes.
I'm going to let the audience look behind you a little bit and just look at them brain and try to remember, what does a 50-year-old look like? I remember when I was a little girl, when somebody tell me say them in them 30s, we think they're nearly dead enough.
I did. I thought 30 was old.
Listen.
Like, and don't even talk to me about 40.
Oh my God,
50.
you are closer to the grave.
Yes, like,
How are
you're
you
going to
still
die
alive?
tomorrow. Like, wow, you've been around forever.
All right, so with that in mind, what made you want to do a pageant at 50?
Well, so 2 years ago, they released all of the restrictions with Miss Universe. So they took away the social restrictions, the age restriction, everything. And I remember when it happened, I thought to myself, wow, I can do it. But it never really hit me like I should do it. And I saw Dr. Swaby last year.
Fabulous, Dr.
Absolutely
Swaby.
fabulous. And I said, no, I can really do this.
Right.
And so this year, I really just, as it started getting closer to the audition date and everything, I really started thinking about it. And I was like, there's no reason why I should not do this. And then I thought about how it was always my mom's dream for me to enter Miss Jamaica. Really, she wanted me to be a Miss Jamaica. That was her dream, and I never did it. I never had the confidence to do it. I was never pushed to do it. It was never an interest that that anyone actually like brought up for me to be able to do or encouraged me to do. And to be very frank with you, when I was in my 20s, and that's when they had the age restriction, I wouldn't have had the confidence to stand on that stage.
Interesting.
Yes, I would not have had the confidence. So even the confidence that I have now at 50 to go out there and stand on that stage, because it is a beauty pageant.
Yes.
It's a beauty pageant, and there's a lot of things that are involved in the pageant itself, but it is about the beauty of a woman. And so it's exposed. You're exposed from head to toe. I wouldn't have had that confidence to stand out there. So I really commend all the other girls that are in the pageant with me, because I could not have done it at their age.
I find that very intriguing what you said just now, that 20-year-old you wouldn't have the confidence to do it, and you're doing it now at this stage in your life. I mean, what happened? What, like, if you were talking to 20-year-old you know, and she said to you, I would have never had the confidence to be who you are now. What happened that led you to this level of confidence? What would you say?
20-year-old me, Shelly, could never look in the mirror and see beauty. I had no definition of beauty that fit me. My definition of beauty was my mother, my aunts, and I didn't look anything like them in my eyes. And so 20-year-old me never would have thought a beauty pageant was anything suited for me. But sitting here at 50, I would definitely tell 20-year-old me, do it afraid. You've done everything else afraid, do this afraid, because 20-year-old me modeled. I modeled, but I got up there and I did modeling. I faked it. So when people say fake it till you make it, that's exactly what I did and what I was doing at 20 when I was modeling. I did it because people said I could and people said I should. I did not do it because I believed that I should be doing it, or even because I wanted to do it. So at 50, I happen to know that I'm absolutely beautiful and gorgeous.
No argument here. We concur.
And that for me is not just, it's not just a look, it's a feeling, it's everything. I don't believe, so when beauty had standards or was defined by standards before, by me, by 20-year-old me, now 50-year-old me says beauty does not, you can't define beauty by a standard.
Right.
It's definitely deeper, and it's definitely more than skin deep.
Than skin deep. Oh, that is so awesome. That's so mature of you. So let's go back to the periodness of it all, because this is everyday period after all, and we want to hear about some of these experiences that you have had for over half a century, and we want to hear about how has your periods changed over the years. Did they start off nice and then you had a rocky few years? Or like what has it been like for you if you were to tell your period story over your lifetime?
If I was to tell my period story over my lifetime, I would say it has been very emotional and like a roller coaster, really. So I started off with periods. I had the 5 to 7 day period when I was younger, and that's what was expected, the 5 to 7 days. well, a little bit after my period started, it wasn't 7 anymore. It was really 5 days. And then as I got older, it was really more like the 5th day was a little bit of just barely spotting. So now I literally, now at this age, at 50, and I have a friend that says, you still see a period at 50? And I'm like, yes. And she's like, how poor you? Because she's in her 40s and she no longer sees her period. And she's thrilled. She's thrilled. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I'm fine. You know, me and my parent got a little relationship going on and we're good.
Yeah, you're good still. Yeah, let's talk about that because you're in the age group now where the average age of menopause is usually somewhere around 51. And you're still having a period now and it doesn't show any sign of slowing down or anything like that. You haven't noticed anything irregular?
Nothing irregular. It's still the same. I'm very moody or emotional before my period. Like if you have an opportunity to make me cry, it's definitely going to be just before my period.
Right.
And usually that's a good sign for me. Okay, my period is coming. That's why I'm so emotional.
Right.
So you have a very good chance. But then once my period comes, I'm great. And my favorite part was always the boobs.
Oh, okay.
The boobs.
All right. Yes. Well, you know.
Yes.
We do like some, but you know, them look nice, but them you can't really play with them.
They're heavy.
Them very heavy and they hurt and so it's a give and take.
Don't touch. Yeah.
Look but don't touch.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Yes, man. So that is something that is very interesting. Perimenopause is something that a lot of women are going through now. Some women as young as in their 30s are experiencing perimenopause symptoms. And it sounds to me like that you don't even notice anything yet in your space, no?
I have not noticed anything. I listen to the conversations about perimenopause and I'm like, you mean that's not just like regular, like that's your attitude or that happens. Right. But I'm getting to understand more now about the symptoms of perimenopause and menopause itself. And it's very possible that what I think is normal is perimenopause. But I haven't noticed anything that I would say is something that has like cause for alarm or alert or anything like that. For me, it's pretty much just been life as usual. Okay,
all right. That's interesting. I really, really admire that because some women are really suffering. And I always say every period story matters because we hear a lot about the difficult challenges and the pain and all of that, but there's another side to that story as well. Not everybody is having horrible, painful periods all the time. So let me get up into your business now, Barbie, right? Children.
Yes.
When we are growing up, they tell us, matter of fact, this man opened his face one day and said to me that him think that I need to just disappear because I don't serve any purpose. The only purpose a woman serve on the earth is to have children. Now I know that you haven't actually given birth to a child, but what is your thoughts on the fact that, you know, conversations around the low birth rate and some people are pointing fingers at women like you and I who have not actually had any children to say that we're the reason why the birth rate is low. Thoughts?
We very well may be a part of the reason, but we're not the only reason because it takes 2 to have a child, right? So recently someone asked me, you know, Barbie, why didn't you have children or why haven't you had children? I said, you know, I never met a man that I wanted to see 50% of my child in.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Hold on. I apologize to all of Barbie's exes. And I never met the cut.
I knew early on, Shelly, that your child is going to be 50% you, 50% him.
Correct.
I never met anyone that I said I wanted to see 50% of my child in. And the older I got, the more important that decision was to me. So it wasn't just a decision to just have children. It was important to me to know who I was having a child for and who that, because it tells you, it has a lot to do with who that child is going to grow up to be, the influences, because I can't take away the influence of my child's father.
No, you can't.
I can, and if we're not together, then that's 2 totally different lives, 2 totally different households, and it then ends up being something that I have absolutely no control over. And I just didn't want, I never wanted that. I never wanted to be someone's baby mother or anything like that. So I wanted to be able to have children and have children with someone that we were going to raise our children together. And if it just so happened that that we split, that we would still be able to do it together in the best interest of the child.
Yeah, it is a permanent decision.
Absolutely.
I just find it so interesting how people are so what's the word that I want? Willy-nilly about who they have children with. But they are very specific about who they get married to. And I always say, you can undo a marriage. You can get divorced. But once you have a child with somebody, that's your family.
Yes.
Y'all hooked for life. That is a permanent,
not just 18 years
decision.
Life,
right? And so that is very interesting that you said that. But another thing that I really think that we don't talk about enough as well is this idea of the fact that there are a lot of Jamaicans who are parenting children that they didn't give birth to, right? And a whole heap of we benefit from that before we born in the 80s and 90s when the parents gone foreign and we are barren children, we don't know ourselves. And so why is it that we act as if the fact that the woman doesn't give birth, like her contribution to the life of a child, doesn't matter?
I don't know, because as you know, I'm raising my niece. She's 3, absolutely amazing. And it's the hardest thing that I've ever had to do, Shelly, because I'm constantly having to make sacrifices and consider someone else before I consider myself.
Right.
Even with Miss Universe, I've had to make decisions that include her first before I even think about, can I go forward with this? So I had to figure out how I was going to manage that side of it.
Right.
And I realized that my friends are always saying to me and my family, they're like, Barbie, you are a mother. And I'm like, the truth is, I'm not a mother. I've never given birth to a child. Do I consider myself to be a mother figure or a mom in that sense? Yes, because I'm there with her every single day. But I can never replace, I can't take the place of her mother. She's never gonna look in the mirror, Shelly, and see my face looking back at her. She's gonna see her mother's face looking back at her. So I think it's important. For me, it's been very, very important, not just to highlight my contribution to her life, but also to highlight her mother's contribution and her mother's role in her life, whether it be a big role or a small role. It really doesn't matter. And so I reinforce that in her every single day. Your mother loves you. Your mother loves you. And so when she sees her mom, that's all she thinks about is how much her mother loves her.
That's amazing. Boy, that's awesome. You see, that's why when you live good with good people, you recognize good things and good things happen to you. So Barbie, I want to just say thank you. We probably should take a break right now. And when we come back, we're going to have some more with my nice guest, Miss Universe Jamaica. I'm speaking it into being.
Thank you.
Future Miss Universe Jamaica, Barbie Mudahy.
I think I'll do the queen wave.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Join the movement by liking, sharing, or dropping your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from you. And we are back with our wonderful guest, future Miss Universe Jamaica, Barbie Mudahy. All right, so Barbie, now you have had periods for a very long time. You have gone through the ups and downs of period, the roller coaster of period. Any lessons you want to impart, or better yet, what did you wish you know about periods that you know now? Some lessons that you have learned that you wish somebody did tell you earlier.
I actually learned this one from you. Free bleeding.
Yes.
I saw you talking about free bleeding and I was like,
yes.
I wish I knew that. I wish I knew about free
All right, let me help the audience out. For those of you who don't know what free bleeding is, that's when you have your period and you don't wear any products. Now, there are persons who don't like to wear products, whether tampons or pads or any of it. And so what they do is, especially when they're at home, they might put a towel down and they'll sit on the towel and allow their period to flow. And whenever they need to use the bathroom, they use the bathroom regular. Or when they're sleeping, they don't wear any products, but they always put something down so it flow upon it, and then they do their laundry. Now, for some people, this is an option because them just feel freer, hence the term free bleeding. Some people freaking out now because they must say what?
Say what?
I'm go for couch.
Barbie, you did it.
What?
I don't know if I've done the towel thing yet, but when you spoke about free bleeding, what was interesting to me is being able to actually control the flow.
All right, so that is something that I don't actually bleed on towels, but when I'm at home, I don't wear menstrual products. This annoys my friends greatly because they're like, so what do you mean? So what I do when I can feel my period coming.
Yes.
Right? So when I get the sensation, similar to sensation, how you can feel when you want to urinate, you can actually feel when your period is coming. So when you get that sensation when you want to urinate, what do you do? Run to the bathroom.
Go to the bathroom.
So I go to the bathroom and I let the blood out and I wipe and I continue with my day. Now, there are some persons who will say, but Shelly, so when you go on road, you do that? No, when I go on road, I put on a product. But when I'm in the house, I can't, but I don't even like wear underwear most of the time. So.
Same. I wear products when I'm on the road, but when I'm home, I actually have, since I saw Shelly talk about free bleeding, I have just started.
Yes, and how does it feel?
I love it. I absolutely love it because I am that person that I never enjoyed wearing tampons. I never did. And then I remember when I started reading up about like the asbestos and those things that they put in tampons and the fact that you insert that.
Right.
And that's what draws the blood.
Right.
Is the asbestos in it. Yes. And so for me, I didn't like wearing tampons, but I used to swim and do all of these different things. But then I also learned that when you're in the water, it doesn't flow.
Right.
It doesn't flow the same way. But had I known about free bleeding, then I wouldn't have been so concerned about when I get out of the water, what would happen. So if I knew that then I would have been able. I would have just functioned better.
Yes.
When I was swimming, and
it would have been easier for you.
Yes, it would have been easier.
Well, you see, you live and you learn. That is why it's important for us to have conversations about period and things. And listen, if you want to free bleed, but you don't really trust yourself so much, there's a lot of different things that you can use. There are waterproof blankets that you can put down. So if you don't trust that you're not going to mess up the couch, spread a blanket, a waterproof blanket, waterproof towel, something that will not leak through and soil the area, and just sit on it and continue with the day. Hey, I hear you do what you want to do inside it. Hello, I don't recommend you go to other people's house and do it, though they might have an issue. You understand? Just saying.
But you know, Shelly, I will say this though, that because of my experience with my period and growing up and how I was so informed, I didn't know that there were people out there that were not informed. You actually highlighted that for me.
Is it?
Yes, you highlighted that for me. I didn't know it was a thing that people didn't know. I didn't know that girls were ostracized because of their period. I didn't know that some girls couldn't afford products and those things. You highlighted that for me. And when you highlighted it, I was like, oh, this is a thing. Like, this is really, really a thing. I Googled it and it's all across the world.
Right across the world. Yes. It really is a thing. And that's the reason. So thank you for that, because it is sometimes it feels like you are just saying these things and people are not getting the message, but we do see the impact of the journey and the work. So we're very, very happy for that. Thank you, Miss Barbie.
You're welcome, Miss Shelly.
Oh my goodness. We are going to take one more break and then it's time for Ask the Period Lady. Suka.
That's you. You're the period lady.
Everyday Period is brought to you by Herflow Foundation. The Herflow Foundation is dedicated to improving menstrual health and addressing key social issues affecting women and girls in Jamaica. Through advocacy, education, and direct support, Herflow works to break the stigma surrounding menstruation and empower women to live healthier, more fulfilling lives. Herflow's flagship project is to end the period poverty in Jamaica. Since inception, Herflow has donated over 9 million menstrual products to Jamaicans in need. To learn more about Herflow, please visit embraceherflow.com. Welcome back to Everyday Period. It's time for Ask the Period Lady. You know that's my favorite part of the show because that's when we get to hear from you. But since we have guests, you know how it is, we're going to ask our guests to ask the Period Lady a question. Miss Barbie, what's your question for the Period Lady today?
My question for the period lady is about tampons.
Yes, what about
How
them?
safe or unsafe are they?
Well, that is a question for the brands, because there are different brands that studies have been done on them that shows that there are some, dangerous material inside of the tampons that can cause adverse reactions. But you do have brands also that have organic cotton. Okay. And those are safer, but you really have to get to know your products. You have to go into the spaces and read about the products. You have to look at what makes them, because some people have adverse reactions because of allergies. And if you're allergic to certain type of materials, then you need to know what makes it so that you can choose based off that. But you know as well that I'm a big fan of reusable products. So reusable products gives an alternative to tampons as well. So if you don't want to necessarily use a tampon and you still want something insertable, you can look at a disc and you can look at a reusable cup. Talk about all of that. There's a whole episode on Everyday Period about products. Go and go watch it. But what I'm saying is, it's important for you to know what is in the products that you're inserting into your body and that you're using on your body, because we are very concerned about what we put in our mouth, but we don't worry about what we put on our skin so much. And even in your pubic area, your vulva, there are a lot of open spaces in the vulva, and so we need to ensure that what we're putting in that space is something that our body is going to be reacting positively for, because if it's going to cause any issues, then you're going to have to face those consequences.
And there's no way to know the issues unless you use them.
Not necessarily, because you can look at because like I said, there are brands, you can go and do the research. There are brands where they have done testing on and reported that some of them have arsenic, some of them have asbestos, some of them have bleaching because they bleach the material. So you really have to go and look and make sure that the brand that you use is suitable for you and you're happy with what is in it.
Okay. I'll reconsider using tampons.
But there are brands that are made from organic cotton. Yeah. Yes, they're available on the market.
I tend to lean more towards those, not just for the tampons, but also for the sanitary.
Yeah, man. But listen, the good thing about period products is that there are a lot of them. And if you look close enough, you can find one that works for you. So do the research, do the work, find one that works for you and use that. A lot of people are just using the same product that they've used all their lives because that's the same product that they use. You don't have to. You can try a new product, test it out, see how you like it, and see if you might want to make an adjustment. Yes. But there's a lot of products available now. The market has expanded.
There's so many.
Yes, it has definitely expanded.
It never used to be so many before. Never.
Trust me, we didn't only have one option once upon a time.
Yeah, like the section in a supermarket is really, really small. No, it's huge.
That is what I'm saying. Yeah. So yes, we have options. So please go ahead and use the options. Hey, Everyday Period fam. If you're loving these real unfiltered conversations about reproductive health, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Join the movement by liking, sharing, or dropping your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from you. Let's keep breaking the stigma and spreading the knowledge. Periods don't stop, and neither do we. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Facebook at HerFlow Foundation. I want to say thank you to my guest, Miss Barbie, future Miss Jamaica Universe. Yes, we're speaking it into being because she's a winner. She's up there because she's good as. Yes. And so we just want to say thank you so much and congratulations on your achievements. And we're looking forward to see you on the stage, shining so bright like the star that you are.
Thank you, Shelly. I'm looking forward to the night itself.
Yes.
April 5th is the coronation night, so definitely everybody come out. Shelly will be there.
Yes, I will be there.
So April 5th at Wilma's Voice Auditorium.
Tell people where them can find it. They have to vote for your People's Choice and these things.
Yes. So I am on Instagram at Barbie_made4me. There's a story behind that. And also, please follow the Miss Universe Jamaica East page. Also, you can find me and all the other girls there and everything that's happening with us, as well as the link to purchase your ticket. Or you can DM me on Instagram and I'll get the tickets too.
Awesomeness. And we'll definitely share the information as well. So thank you, Miss Barbie.
You're welcome.
And thank you for tuning in. And before we go, I just want to remind you that reproductive health is not just about periods and pregnancy. It's a holistic journey that has how you take care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, even socially. Remember, from puberty to menopause, how you take care of yourself will affect you. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Everyday Period. Take care, walk good. I'm your girl, Shelly-Ann Weeks, the period lady. See you next time.
Period.
If you want to get in touch after the show, send your questions or comments to embraceherflow@gmail.com. Until next time, remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Period TV. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Facebook at Herflow Foundation. Our website is embraceherflow.com, and don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter. Thanks to our production team, April Digital Pro, for the great support, and thank you for tuning in. See you next time. Take care. Walk good.